Are you? These are real dinosaurs. I gotta get closer.
Creatures have large hands with 3 strongly curved claws. I wouldn't get too close if I was.
Mr. Larry, if you could please sign here and initial here, then Dinosaur Island LLC will be cleared of all liability for Michael's accident. Thank you. And as promised, here is a delicious plate of nachos, where their tortillas have been replaced with nacho cheese Doritos. Enjoy. Did anybody hear that? That's an impact tremor, that's what it is. I'm fairly alarmed here.
And right. Let's go. Hi guys, we are the Guys of the Beholder. Thank you so much for watching. Today we are talking about when we played Dinosaur Island, Rawr N Write.
A week ago, we're in the same clothes.
A week ago.
That was a long time ago.
It was.
Man,
barely remember playing.
We are
Good thing his dice are the exact same spot.
adult men who get to meet every week to play board games and make videos.
Yeah, that'd be.
That's good. That's
literally the dream.
Literally the dream.
Literally the dream.
We're going to talk about what we think about this game, if we had fun, if we didn't have fun, and you're going to sit there, you're going to watch, and then in the comments, you're going to let us know what you think about this game, and you're going to draw a picture and post it.
What do you think about it?
I think this is a great game. Is it a companion game to Dinosaur World? Can I call it that?
Yeah, I would say that's fair.
Okay, or sister game?
Sister game would be.
Sister
so
game?
essentially, this and Dinosaur World are both sequels to Dinosaur Island. True. Mm-hmm. And they both came out in the exact same year.
Huh.
Because I went to look it up to see, which one of these came out first. And they both say 2021. I didn't do any more research into that. Huh. But they both said 2021, so I just went with it.
So I haven't played Dinosaur Island. I have played Dinosaur World.
None of us have played Dinosaur Island.
Interesting.
So
I don't know that I want to, based off how much I like this game.
Truth. So Dinosaur Island is supposed to be a simpler version compared to Dinosaur World.
Yes.
With less good art, apparently.
But dice.
But dice. So we talk about...
But I just want to say that because we're going to do a lot of comparison to Dinosaur World in this discussion.
Yeah.
So, because they're both very similar in the year, they're sister games, they're companion games, they're both sequels to the same freaking thing.
Right.
So, I feel like it's a fair comparison if we make those comparisons.
It is, without question, on the simple fact alone, the objective is the exact same.
Yeah, you build a dinosaur park.
You build a dinosaur park, and you take people through tours of that dinosaur park.
You tour your dinosaur park.
Based off that concept alone,
right?
they took the same idea and they went a little different pathways. So we're allowed to make that comparison.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
I'm going to say I have played Dinosaur World.
What? We have.
On this channel.
What? Yeah.
No, my takeaway from that game was I don't want to play it again, purely because I don't want to set it up. Because it is disrespectfully big. It is a lot of work. If someone took the time, the 45 minutes to set up the entire game, and gave me a 20-minute refresher on how to play the game, I would love to play the game again. However, this game removes all of those problems and just puts us down into playing. So much so that when in our play video, we literally just started.
Yeah.
We skipped a couple things that we weren't supposed to, but I think that is a testament of how quickly you can get this game started instead of 45 minutes. It's not an exaggeration, Dinosaur World. it's not an exaggeration, to less than 5 minutes. Makes this game, takes the best parts about this and removes all of the negative, in my opinion.
And implements this.
And implements this.
I mean, there's dice in Dinosaur World as well.
Yeah.
Right, but they're used in a similar fashion as well.
Well, it's just Dina.
It's just Dina.
Yeah. But yeah, this kind of takes all the intense complexity that is Dinosaur World with all of its different moving paddocks and squares and hexagons and all that, and replaces it with you get to draw your own things and kind of make your own.
That's where the Write comes in from Rawr N Write.
Like, you remember the fucking excitement, tiny little tokens?
The boredom mechanic.
Yeah.
I fucking go, hey.
Fun fact, the boredom mechanic was introduced in Dinosaur World. It didn't work that way in Dinosaur Island.
Okay.
So that was something that they added that they thought was a good idea.
It could have been if they found a better way to implement it. But
Yeah,
like
the
this.
little triangles.
Yeah, like
the little triangles did a lot.
You know, well, you accumulate boredom as well, right? And this is just like, it's just not exciting anymore. Move on.
Yeah,
do something else.
Yeah, do something new.
Yeah. But yeah, that's they took the intense complexity and all of the, I'm gonna use the metaphor of open worldness, where you have unlimited choices to do kind of whatever you want, and we've narrowed it down to like 5 basic actions and what are on the dice and stuff like that. So it takes all that stuff, and this is a surprisingly complex version of a roll and write. Most roll and write games don't have this that exists. It's just dice, and you roll them and then you draw it. So like all of this stuff adds that extra layer of complexity that makes it kind of a little bit punch up a little higher. Makes it feel a little bit more beefy and chunky, in a good way, the best possible way in my opinion, because it's not the size of a 6-foot-long banquet table.
Yeah.
We could just play here as normal guys.
I'm never playing it again.
Never playing Dinosaur World again?
Not knowing that this exists, there's no point.
There's no way, yeah. And it's way easier to teach this, even with its added complexity.
It is super complex.
Yeah, there's a lot of rules, but
there's a lot of rules, but it's actually not that bad.
They all
it's
really make sense.
21 pages, and it's pretty thinly written, or pretty
a lot of pictures on
small. A lot of pictures, yeah. So it's not that bad. I think it does an excellent job of explaining all the rules individually. So it's, I think that's makes it a nice little. If you're gonna do a dinosaur game, this is children friendly, ish. Compared to that.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Compared to Dinosaur
Oh,
Island.
comparatively, yes.
Yes. So that's a little bit easier of an entry way into this. You also get a chance that if people maybe, don't want to sit through an hour teach, this can be a little bit better. Gives you the chance.
Oh man, do you remember on your birthday when you guys were teaching me how to play this game in my apartment, and it took up my whole apartment? This game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it was on like 7 tables on the floor. And...
We didn't... I didn't like it.
So yeah, and they do have, if you want even... Because right now you start as a symmetric gameplay, right? So everyone has the same thing. We're all going for the same guys. If you want to add even more asymmetry or create a kind of more complex or different variety of spice of game, you can actually get all of the specialist cards, which are these orange guys, which are people that work for you, and shuffle them up and do a draft of that. Same with the buildings. So that each person would have their own 3 specialists and their own 3 buildings that they end up using in their park. So you can kind of spice up the game that way. I personally wouldn't recommend it because there are some devastating combos, I will say the least.
We did have fun in our playthrough, but to Tony's point, this almost ruined our game. The Insider.
I was fine with her.
This just created a problem, a vicious cycle of mutually assured destruction that put a little. I mean, obviously.
Larry had 2 deaths, man.
Yeah, I don't know how you did that.
It's called planning.
Planning.
Forethought.
The Insider is one of the cards that Tony is talking about that kind of hurt the game. If this goes to one individual, it will be awful, and if only one individual can have it, they always get a security, and then everyone else gets 2 threat every
Just
single
one
time. Right.
Yeah, it
Excuse
was
me.
2 because we all doubled down.
Right. We all bought it right away because we had to keep.
Essentially had to.
We had to keep up, and otherwise we would
Are
have
you
been
saying you
buried.
did it? Live to?
Well, obviously, I did. You didn't have to.
Right.
It was a choice.
It's like the only choice.
It was the only choice. All of us had to have that. Well, apparently it made no difference for me. So,
So yeah, there are kind of some devastating combos that would be hurtful to other people. Kind of take that,
right.
and push people down. So maybe some people don't like that. Maybe some people do like that. They also have mechanics in which the only way that you can cover up a die is with something that's bigger. So like if you have like a 0 or a 1 or a 2, the only way you can cover it up is with something bigger. So if someone puts on like a 3, can't cover it up at all because that's the highest number.
I like that, though.
Yeah.
That's ruthless.
That is ruthless.
But
If you play with 4 players, there are things that have double slots so that you can you don't have to like
yeah,
necessarily cover it up because you'll quickly run out of spaces in a 4-player game. So they did think of that, have that in place. So that makes it nice. Still the same amount of rounds, 3 rounds, which I feel like is just right. Anything more would be a bit excessive, and you wouldn't have room in your park.
right,
Anything less, you don't really get to feel like you're playing the game. So I think it's just the right amount of time.
right.
I feel like I'm talking a lot.
But you said a bunch of stuff, and I agree with all of it. And I want to go back to the 3 stud, the 3 if covering it up with a 3 or whatever. That defeats the purpose of putting a 3 down, because a 3 is already going to deter somebody from.
Yeah, but this just
Placing
completely
on top of
blocks
it.
them. It's ignorant.
Completely blocks it. Yeah, some people will accept the 3 if they like. If we didn't have the insider of this game, like there's a lot of security that you can be rolling around with. So if you're hard blocking dinosaurs, that's a lot of excitement and points that people just do not get.
Right.
So that's straight rude. I also want to talk about the fact that this game can force negotiations to happen.
What?
Which is nice. That doesn't always happen in games like this, where there's that moment of conversation where we're like, "Hey, let's just be normal guys and not leave the 3."
Not leave the 3 so we all don't get 3. Yeah, right, Larry? Don't you know about that one?
Oh, don't you know?
Yeah.
No, don't you know?
Oh, don't you know? Hey, bud, it'd be really great if you just pick up that red 3 there, so we can all just get $2 at the end of this and no threats. Wouldn't that be nice?
It would have been nice. It would have been nice. I would say the one thing. So while I'm a fan of that and the dice mechanic, the one thing I'm not a fan of is how threat is generated in this game. Like the amount that's left over. It feels. I'm not going to say random. I just don't understand why from like a thematic point of view. I understand from the covering point of view, right? Because if you're covering someone else's thing, it's kind of like corporate espionage because you're copying someone's actions, so you're increasing threat on yourself. But like, if the die is left over,
Dick so big.
so yeah, the die that's left over. The die that's left
Just
over.
leave it in, okay?
Yeah.
Just leave it in.
Yeah, the die that's left over, I don't understand why we have to all get that threat. Besides the forcing the negotiation.
That's
aspect.
legit.
Huh?
I'm pretty sure that's legit.
Yeah, are you going to play ball? Or are you going to make an enemy out of all of us?
Yeah,
Larry.
I mean, there's not much you can do about it.
Right.
Just gotta sit there and take it on the chin. So what don't you like about this?
What I don't like?
What's a downside? What's a bad side?
Yeah. I don't have one. I really don't.
It's perfect. It's the perfect game.
I'm gonna go ahead and say
It's not the cure. It's not Sick Guy Dice.
But the thing is it is as good as Sick Guy Dice.
Whoa, buddy!
It is as good as Pandemic the Cure. That
What's
being
on the back?
just
The same
over there.
thing. Oh,
shit, I shouldn't have crumbled that because it's usable.
Yeah, dude.
I'm
It
gonna
helps
take
the
that.
environment.
That's fine.
And
Well, first of all, I can pick it up and recycle it. Like, it's not like it's just gonna sit in the room.
It lives there.
I enjoy. It has.
I didn't ask what you enjoyed. I asked what you didn't like.
I don't have anything that I don't like about it. I could say I would like more rounds, but I agree with you that 3 rounds is perfect because 4 rounds,
Technically, it's 6
right?
plus the
4 tours would be too much, even though I would like to do that. I extremely enjoy filling in these squares and making this image happen. I can't think of something I don't like. I just can't. It got this weird item management, like a Diablo 2 style, where I have to organize my equipment so everything fits perfectly, or like in Resident Evil 4.
Resident Evil 4, yeah.
So
Gotta fix your attaché.
Right. I make these other circles. I get to go fill in later, and my brain gets happy ticking off these little check boxes. And when I get to circle all these and have enough security and be like, I'm safe this round. No one is going to die. Immediate gratification. It doesn't matter that I've lost every single time that I played it. I get to make my own park, and I'm still playing my own game, and I'm still having fun.
But you have no T-Rex and jet skis this time.
It is a building.
Yeah, but
I mean, you had to wait for the pack in Dinosaur World, but it is a building.
I did have a business insider who's insider trading and ruining, other parks.
I will say it's also nice seeing the actual buildings with a little bit of art on them, because when we played Dinosaur World, we just kind of like imagined our own.
What a Triceratops ring toss was.
Yeah.
They tell you what the Triceratops ring toss is here.
Yeah.
It's just as
the
to be-
Velociraptor culinary experience, right?
Yeah.
Larry, what's something that you don't enjoy about this game?
I would like a few more ways to make money. It seems like if you go last, you're not getting no money die rolls, and you're eating fucking thread to get money.
Yeah.
So like, it does punish going last.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd like some more money.
Yeah.
That's it. It's just
Income
every time.
generation?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I think you're supposed to get that from your tour, but there's not enough money on the tour.
No, especially when you're starting out, you're just like, I guess I'm eating a fucking wiener.
Yeah.
Right.
Like,
Yeah. Which is kind of what happened to me, right? Like, I had
Right.
to eat 2 or 3 threat to be able to do the thing that I wanted to
yeah.
do. But that's part of why they give you the extra DNA at the start.
Mhm.
It is what it is.
If they want to give you $1 or $2 to start, I think that'd be it.
$1 would be right. $2 is way too much because that's 66% of the cost of a specialist.
Right.
So
Of the
$1.
specialist security chief that you, without question, need to buy every single time.
correct.
He is super important.
He
he's
is
a good guy.
imperative.
He's a friend.
He's a good guy.
Yes, don't let him die.
Also, I would say that a lot of the specialists are very fun and unique characters. All of them kind of have like their own.
Like, he's
Shtick.
niche AF.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
buy him first turn or you don't buy him.
Right. Yeah. And you need to be making sure that you're drafting foods or going out of your way to make foods.
Also, look at the ore option, because there were plenty of times like, man, it'd be so great if I had an attraction here, and this was open, and I bought 3 foods, and not
3
Three
roads.
roads.
Yeah.
yeah. You know what I mean? Know what the iconography means? Helpful. Helpful.
So I have a question. There is a mechanic in Dinosaur World that when you go on your tour and you go past dinosaur pens, there's a chance for people to get injured. Do you miss that?
No.
No, I don't miss it either.
No, because I should be building a safe park.
Correct.
Now, if shit happens, like when the people die,
If you
and
do-
then I blow a thing up, that makes sense. But like, my park should be safe as is.
Correct. Yeah, I actually hated that mechanic in
I
Dinosaur
forgot
World.
it existed.
Yeah,
So
it
Wait,
was-
I feel like they've just changed it, and it is effectively the same.
Well, threat is on this die, right?
Okay.
So instead of rolling like the red, purple, or green dice that like when you visited that park and
Right.
there was a chance of someone dying.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I hated that mechanic.
Yeah.
That was something I was not a fan of. But yeah.
Punishing you for playing the game.
All right. So I have another serious question for you.
Mhm.
We might cut this into another thing because
Mhm.
we're getting pretty long, longer than I thought we would. What is it about the dice versions of games that make them superior to the original? Because this is the 3rd dice version of another game that we played.
Is it just the 3rd? Wasn't there a 4th?
I think this is the 3rd. We did
Pandemic
Pandemic the Cure,
Yeah, it was-
Terraforming Mars, the dice
Yeah,
game,
it was Mars and Sick Guys. There wasn't another one?
and Dino Dice. So what is it about them? that makes them feel a little bit better than the original.
They're less set up. They're more fast paced. The randomness of it, like it, makes it more interesting.
So you appreciate the randomness of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because like, why I'm okay being able to plan out my turns, it just makes life more fun when anyone's rolling something and they go, oh shit, and it changes
Everything.
Yep.
The spontaneity of it,
Mm-hmm.
being able to make decisions on the fly.
And then they're always more fast paced. They're always less work to set up.
Okay. Well, at least from the 3 that we've done.
Always.
Yeah. So if I could summarize what you're saying, it
Tightens it up.
loses depth or complexity in the way that you're not having 6,000 options thrown in front of you right away, and replaces it with a streamlined mechanic.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's a fair assessment. How about you, Mike?
I know this doesn't have any numbers on it, but you know what it is? A math rock.
It's not.
And math rocks
That's a DNA rock.
go click clack, and I like it.
We don't click clack here either. We have a pad and there is no math on these. So you are completely wrong. Your point is moot. What you got, buddy?
Math rocks go cook clack. I would say you pretty much nailed it right on the head. The losing of it eliminates analysis paralysis in one way. It adds it in a different way. But you don't have to sit there and go, oh man, there's like 10,000 different choices to make. Do I need to do this right now? Do I need to consider that right now?
And I like the having to adapt on the fly instead of just playing 10 turns, which I'm okay playing 10 turns ahead. But when you're playing with other people, sometimes it takes forever. And then by the time it gets to my 10 turns ahead, like I lost interest. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
So
it creates a more stimulating environment for you.
Yeah.
And
This
helps.
is what do I have right now?
yeah, this makes brain fire off.
Now, what do I do?
That fight or flight response. What do I do? Ah! Dice!
Yeah. Those are cheap.
Those are cheapos. Do you think there's a downside to the dicification of a game?
Not that I've found.
I've yet to
enjoyed
see one.
every version more.
Every single version more. Okay.
All 3 that we played.
There's like
Possibly 4.
there's a ton of different ones out there. Possibly. What's the 4th one?
I'm trying to remember.
I don't-
You guys keep doing what you're doing.
I don't remember one at all. Do you think there's a downside to the dicification of a game?
No, Well, I can see one potential one, and that is the dice don't always roll in your favor. And if it always happens, then that sucks. So if the dice aren't weighted correctly, other games we played.
That was just bad at rolling.
That was not a dicified version of another game. That was just a game that you roll dice in.
However,
It was indeed just a board game.
I don't, Larry covered all the points that are great. This one is just so much fun.
So,
One thing. Remember it. We'll come back to it. It does eliminate the slow burn. Some people really appreciate that slow burn, that slow build
That
up.
we're all standing looking over the table. The
Yeah.
clock's not necessarily ticking super fast.
Yeah,
We're all
and there's kind of
thinking
that sitting
things
there
out.
and it's a little bit more relaxed
Uh-huh.
and drawn back. Some people appreciate that. Some
Right.
people enjoy the
and
10
the
turns
originals
ahead.
are still there for them.
And the originals are still there for them.
But I don't know if I want another, I don't know if I want a game that lasts for more than 45 minutes anymore.
Well, there's a lot of games that last more than 45 minutes.
There are.
Most of the games that we have played last more than 45
I
minutes.
still like complex games, but these are great. So I was gonna say though,
Okay. Lay it on me.
if they dicify it, it might make Juicy Fruits worth a fuck.
First of all, Juicy Fruit is always worth a fuck. All right, it is quite possibly
Just
an okay game.
It is definitely
okay.
a game.
Yeah.
Someone for sure made it,
And it's good.
You can play it.
It did sell more copies,
Then
than
what?
other things.
Sure, I'm sure it did.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it sold less copies than
Then yeah,
other
sure.
games.
Hey, you know what?
You know what it did sell less than? And this is against your point. It probably sold less than Settlers of Catan. And which would you rather play?
Depends who I'm playing with.
Oh, okay.
If you're playing with Mike, is it Juicy Fruit so you can piss him off again?
No, he'd play any game against me because he knows he's gonna win. It doesn't matter.
So would you play a dicified version of Catan? Because that does exist.
Does it?
It does.
Mm-hmm.
There's a dicified version of most games.
Need to find Dice Monopoly. But I'd try it.
Try it? Okay. Yeah. It'd probably be better than the original.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never played Catan, so
It sure was.
You've never played Catan?
no.
Okay, before we get started talking about that, let's keep going. What are we talking about now? Where are we at here?
Dice are fun. I like
Dice
dice.
are fun. Dino Dice, this is... I'm going to go ahead and say this is my favorite game that we've played so far.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, this or Sick Guy Dice. It's up there.
Mm-hmm. Last time somebody asked me what my favorite game was, I said...
What about Raccoon Tycoon?
Oh, monkeys.
Pandemic
After
Security.
And Power
Us.
Rangers.
Yeah.
Oh, Monkeys
Power
is such a
Dude, we
fun
literally
game.
just played Power
Yeah,
Rangers.
that's what I'm saying. It's either Power Rangers or Sick Guy Dice. Like they're
Monkeys
both
are
top
pretty
5. Yeah, monkeys is also.
So
top
I
five.
am going to pick
Raccoon.
Pandemic the Cure over Power
What
Rangers.
about fucking wrestling, buddy? You were.
What about
Oh.
You were a big book at
Okay,
Mark.
I am a big Book It Mark still to this day. I'm picking, I'd rather play this one. Still want to play Book It. Don't get me wrong. Don't take my Book It from me. Like, want to play that game. Super good. Really excited for the expansions
Yeah,
that are
dude,
coming out
tag
soon.
teams.
Hell yeah. Very, very, very excited. Let's go. But...
What's that?
I'll go.
Alright, well, time to wrap it up.
That's all we got
Goodbye,
now.
guys. We are the Guys of the Beholder. We've been talking about Dinosaur Island, Rawr N Write.
You got it right. Dino Dice.
Thanks for hanging out with us today. That's Tony. This is Larry, the champ, and I broke him? I don't know.
Let's go.
My name's Michael.
Let's go!
Let's go.
Let's go! What the fuck was that? It was like the weakest let's go.
Why was it goo and not go? Like, let's go. Let's go. No, goo. What is this? The fuck? Oh.
Yeah, man, I got nothing.
do 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 do